It's a really beautiful day out. It's shady, but also quite sunny. So I'm just waiting for the sun to come back out. It's been raining for the past 2 days, and it hasn't been that fun to be outside. So now that it's finally stopped raining, I wanted to get out here and do a little bit of crocheting. I am about to unravel all of my puff stitches. Sorry, I forgot. It's been so long since I've done this blanket, the puff stitches on this blanket. Let me show you. I did about 2 straight rows of this brownish velvet yarn. I did a small little baby pink blanket, and then I was just gonna bulk it up. I decided I wanted to do something different for the edges of the blanket, which isn't unreasonable. So I started doing these puff stitches. But as you can see, I'm pretty new to crochet. A lot of them are loose, and it's just really frustrating, and I can't keep the blanket like that. So I'm going to unravel all of them. I went and grabbed some pieces of cardboard so that I could wrap up all this excess yarn, so it's kind of not just hanging around. So I finally finished unraveling everything that I wanted to. I accidentally unraveled a little bit of the actual siding, the straight siding, so I'm gonna have to finish that line up, and I'll show you guys me doing that. I'm gonna yarn over. Oh my god, there's a really pretty butterfly. Did you see that? I'm gonna insert into my next stitch, yarn over, and then I'm gonna do a double crochet. It's really all trial and error with crocheting, at least it has been for me. I've taught myself how to do a lot of the things, like how to crochet diagonally. It's actually pretty easy to figure out how to do. You just need to chain one less every time you go down, or chain one more if you're trying to go out. And then eventually it'll gradually do a diagonal. And then I've been teaching myself how to do a skirt. I do need more yarn. I ran out of yarn on my skirt, so hopefully I can find the exact same yarn. I'm not very confident in tops. I haven't tried to do a top yet. Blankets are pretty easy. I've done leg warmers. I know this is a homesteading channel, but it's also kind of my personal growth, I guess, in the garden and cooking and homemaking and crocheting, just in my hobbies and crafts. I'm still trying to figure out what exact type of videos that I want to do. I don't really want to box myself in. I kind of just want to do what I want to do, and it's kind of nice because I have all the freedom to right now without a huge audience or comments telling me to do this or do that. So yeah, it's been nice to just have the freedom to experiment, see what does well, see what doesn't. I don't know if people really want to see informative content from me. I may just come off to people as too young to trust informative content from, but I really do research everything that I put in my videos that are informative. I do my best, I research, and I would never make a claim that I didn't look into first, without saying that I didn't look into it first or that it was my personal opinion. I also created this channel to connect with more people. I would think that one day it would be really cool to have like a crocheting Facebook group of my own, or a gardening, or maybe like even a book Facebook group of my own. Maybe all three of those combined together. I don't know. I do have more of a following on Facebook than YouTube. If you guys want to go check out my Facebook, it's at CC Homestead, and we post pretty much a lot of what we post over here, but also informative things about eggs. We sell eggs if you want to give us a PM over on our Facebook. I also really like learning to edit and learning to do fun things, challenging myself to come up with new ideas every day, challenging myself to be creative and to learn. So I really enjoy that. It's really just casual fun for now. And hopefully I can inspire other people one day. Who knows? If anyone ever watches this and I can inspire them to start crocheting or gardening or cooking, or to start their own YouTube channel and be brave, and yeah, that would be everything and more. Oh my gosh. If you're wondering why my ring isn't on, it's because last night I was going like this to my pillow. There were some crumbs, because yes, I eat in the bed, and my ring flew off and down the side of the bed, and so I am definitely gonna have to go get that now that I've remembered. I was very sleep deprived last night, and just I couldn't go and move the bed because it is pressed against a wall, so you have to move the entire bed out to get underneath it. Crocheting is very relaxing because it's so monotonous, especially when you have a nice velvet yarn like this. Like, I'm a very sensory, I wouldn't say I have sensory issues, and I would never go that far to say I have sensory issues, but I'm very in tune with my senses, and so I just love crocheting with like nice yarn as opposed to like the cotton kind of rougher feel, if you understand what I mean. I'm sorry for the inconsistent uploads. Very soon I am going to have a schedule. I'm working out right now with Mr. C and his profession and everything, what we're gonna do YouTube schedule wise. So I've worked from where I was over. It's hard getting back in the swing of things, I'll tell you that. It is hard getting back in the swing of things. If you have any beginner crochet patterns that were easy for you that you would recommend, then go ahead and drop that in the comments. I recommend definitely crocheting along with me in this video and enjoying the ambient sounds of nature. I don't add those in. I realized it really does sound like that. It's just the wildlife is so alive around here that it's really relaxing. Oh my god. Okay. I don't like spiders. Do you see that? Yeah, you can see that. Get out! Ah! I feel like once people blow up on YouTube, they're kind of forced into a niche. And I'm kind of hoping with going into homesteading that it's so broad of a niche, like term, that you can't really box me into one thing. I could do gardening and cooking and crocheting and whatever else. Even though I'm showcasing this ideal version of myself to my family and friends, I feel like I can really be myself with YouTube because it's just me and my camera, you know? Like, it's really not just me and my camera, but it really does feel like it, so it's pretty dope. I feel that I am an introvert, and I just kind of am a homebody. I would just like to live in a nice stone cottage one day that's really close to either a lake or maybe a river, and just maybe it'll be my own lake or river. I guess I could do that as well. That would be the dream. And then like orchard, an orchard, a huge bountiful garden. Like I'm talking acres and acres. I know some people say orchard, but orchard kind of sounds like to me what sounds best today. Do you get that? Like sometimes you just say words about what sounds best that day. You may say it different tomorrow, but today it felt best to say orchard. That made absolutely no sense, and I'm so sorry. I feel like I can be really judgmental and hard on myself, and that's not something that I feel. I know that I do. So this is really a way for me to step out of my comfort zone as well, for me to not put on a full face of makeup every time or whatever, and just be genuine. I feel like I can really be genuine. Growing up, I have always been an anxious child. All through middle school, all through high school, I was just completely devastated by anxiety, which led to reliance in my teenage years, which lost me a lot of friendships. And from my adult mind, I can see that it's best that those friendships were lost, but it is still sad for my teenage self that it drove her heavier into reliance due to the loss of the friends and everything. Had a lot of struggles that hopefully one day I will be able to share about fully online. But basically my point is, this is kind of me taking back my own story and controlling how it is, if that makes sense. A lot of my life I felt like I haven't had any control because of how anxious I am. But this is my way of getting back at my anxiety. Taking control of it. If that makes sense. I'm going to have to probably make this into a series or something, because there's no way I was ever going to finish this whole entire blanket border today. I can try my best to finish off the yarn that I have here because I am in the groove. I want to know what you guys' favorite musicians are. I listen to, I'd say, a couple of very niche people, but also a lot of mainstream people. My favorite genre of music, it's hard to say. I feel like it's between two. Singer-songwriter music really is what I first fell in love with, and oh my god, it's so hot outside. It's so bright. I'm sorry, I can't talk. Oh man, I need to get my sunglasses. Cool mode initiated. No. It's just way too sunny out here. I don't think I look the best in sunglasses, but we're not caring about that anymore. But as I was saying, my favorite genre of music is singer-songwriter, and then my favorite artist in that genre is Jessica Pratt. I feel like she's very, very niche, but amazing music. She has new music coming out right now. Some good songs by her are Polly Blue this time around, and she has a good one, World on a String, that's new, and that's my favorite right now. My favorite song is World on a String. And then my second favorite genre is, I'd say, rap music, because my second artist or second type of music that I fell in love with was Tyler the Creator. I really enjoyed his music, and from there I'd say I like Ice Spice. She's fairly new, but I know that's very controversial and a lot of people don't like her music, but I just feel like she has very happy, upbeat music, and you can just be happy while listening to her music. So that's kind of the opposite of my singer-songwriter music, so gotta have the balance. Another artist that I really like is the Mexican OT. I think Cardi B's okay. I have a lot of her songs in my album, but I don't like her really as a person, especially after hearing what she had to say at the Met Gala. It just gives me the ick, and it's just wrong. It's really like you can like any music that you want, and you don't have to like these people as a person to like their music or whatever. I really like movies, watching movies. That probably sounds stupid, but I know that like people like to read, people like to listen to podcasts. I'm less of a podcast girly and less of a reading girly. There are books that I like, but I really just read them all on my phone, you know, and they're usually like romance, or thriller type of things, mystery thriller type of things, so, not really huge into books, but I would like to be. Yeah, I'm just really into movies. I've watched a ton of movies. When I was younger, I watched The Age of Adeline, which I loved, and then like seeing that movie, I know that is not the top of film. Like, please do not come for me. I know The Age of Adeline is not a crazy cinematic or whatever, but I really love that movie. And then from there, the first one that I really loved, the cinematography and just the directing and the grain in the footage, was The Florida Project. And then from there I started watching a lot of independent films, a lot of indie films, and it became my favorite. Roma, if you've watched that one, I love that movie. Moonlight, I love that movie. Just the colors, the cinematography, everything about Moonlight is so striking visually, and then the story is just as great to go along. White Girl, that is a good movie. Don't judge it off of the title of the name. It's a very good movie. It's striking. Maybe for other people, you wouldn't call it striking visually. I would say I was very drawn visually into that movie, and then the story, I really felt for the character. She's not just a white girl, but that's kind of the whole point of naming it White Girl. I got into horror. I really love a good horror movie. A good disturbing movie for the night. Amen. Psychological thrillers I enjoy. And I'd say like my least favorite genre of movie is slapstick comedy, which everyone who knows me knows that is true. Now, there are some slapstick movies that are okay, I guess. The one that I can watch without fail and actually laugh is Funny Farm with not Will Ferrell. I really like thinking about movies a lot more in depth, looking at Easter eggs, trying to see the foreshadowing and secret messages in them. That's really what I like to do. But moving on from the subject of movies, let's get into video games. What are y'all's favorite video games? Lately, I was on a Fallout kick. And I know you're probably thinking, is it because of the show? It's actually not because of the show. So, Mr. C had played Fallout years before we even met, and everything. He just liked the game. And he bought it on our computer recently, and he hadn't played it in a long while, and he just was like, try the game, right? Maybe you'll like it. Just learn how to play it. And I really did not expect to like it, because I had seen him play it a couple of times, like 2 years ago on the Xbox, and it seemed kind of slow, but surprisingly the part that I liked was like the attack part, like not even the storyline. I cannot care less about most of the Fallout 4 storylines. I kind of skip through dialogue a lot, which is not good. Do not do that. I really enjoy the getting rid of the enemy, if that makes sense. Seeing how quick I can do it. I really like collecting, and my favorite aspect other than that is the sanctuaries. Mr. C always gets so mad because I'll spend like so much time doing Minutemen quest for Preston Garvey. Like, I do not care about the Institute at all. I got furious actually when in the main storyline, I'm not even gonna spoil anything, go play the game, but all I'm gonna say is I got so furious with the Institute when I went that I decided I screw them all, and I haven't been back since. And he just thinks that's funny because he does the work with the Institute. You can get things from the Institute. I can't get myself to do it. I really like the Minutemen quest. I kind of like the whole idea of like it's the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. It kind of makes me feel like a patriot of some sort, if that even makes sense. Like, little old me is some like US soldier out there fighting for America. Those little side quests are my dynamite. I love it. So yeah, Fallout, I have been liking that game. And then I really like The Sims, because I really like character creation and coming up with different storylines. I like how much freedom that you have in that game, and I really love to build in that game. There's just like so many good aspects about that game, but now that it's like so laggy and it takes so long to update it and just everything, I haven't played it in a really long time. Sims and Stardew, but yeah, I threw Fallout into the mix. I did not know that I would love it as much as I ended up. And then after we ended up playing the game, we were very hesitant to watch the show. We do have Prime, so we saw it on Prime, and we were very, very hesitant because we were like, what is this? You know, you don't want to watch your game's adaptation because you do not want it ruined. It was great. Like, we were waiting for the second season. You know that meme with like their credit card and the dude's banging it down? That's me to like the writers of the second season. Like,
and what is that, bro?
like, hurry up. I will pay any amount to see the second season right now. I will binge right now. When I was in high school, I watched so much Grey's Anatomy. Like, when I think back on it, I had so many sleepless nights because of Grey's Anatomy. I loved it. That was my dynamite. Grey's Anatomy. I would literally have exams the next day, and I was just too engrossed in Christina and Owen. How could I forget? I used to watch a lot of anime. I haven't really had the time to now because Mr. C doesn't like anime, so like we are usually watching TV and everything together, so it's really like I don't have the time to do that because I'm always doing something else. I should definitely get back into watching anime. The first one I think I watched was Death Note. That might have been the first one. I binged this anime in like 1 to 2 days. It was Erase. It's the one where the butterfly and it turns blue, and then he has the power to kind of see what's gonna happen beforehand. He's a pizza delivery guy. I don't want to spoil it, but like if you haven't seen it, then I don't know. He is able to go back in time to help find the killer and everything, and it's really suspenseful. It's really great. So after watching that anime, I think I tried to watch Devilman Crybaby, but I think my head is like this big, right? And then like my peanut brain is like that big when it came to that, because I just could not like fully get what was going on in Devilman Crybaby. I really liked some of the visuals, but a lot of times it was kind of over the top as well, and I was like, I can't. I tried. Another one is Kakugoro. I hope I am saying that right. If I'm not, I'm sorry. I liked that one, the gambling school one. It was over-sexualized, but the gambling aspect was really cool. I recommend if you like gambling. I need to get back into anime. They just put Jujutsu Kaisen on Netflix, so I really need to get to watching that because my brother is really into Jujutsu Kaisen and I really want to know what he be talking about half the time, so I need to get into that. I will soon. The other TV shows, Blacklist. I like Blacklist. I haven't watched it in a long while just because it kind of slowed down, and it gets more boring throughout the seasons, but in the beginning, like Raymond, hello. Whenever Dancing with the Stars was on, I was watching that with my mother. So, yeah. Let me know what TV shows that you guys like to watch down in the comments. Let me know about the music, about the movies that you like. Let me know about it all. It's just an open conversation to have fun and share about yourself. So I'm currently in school for psychology and in hopes of becoming a school counselor, and I definitely know that psychology is my calling, so to speak, but so is working with children, in specific. So childhood psychology, school counselor is what I'm aiming for. I've always been interested in that. I've always loved that. And shout out to Miss McCarl, my first psychology teacher. She taught me so well. I remember so many things from 9th grade's AP psychology class because of that amazing woman. So shout out. I really do think school counseling would be something I find extremely rewarding and fulfilling for my life. Even if it's not being a clinical psychologist, I could still do that if I wanted to get my PSYD or PhD one day. There's still time, and I feel like school counselor would be pretty fulfilling for me. So what are y'all's goals? Are y'all in school? Are y'all working? Are y'all just doing something else? What's going on? I am currently gonna take the summer semester off, and I'm getting back in fall. But that's not uncommon for me. I usually do take the summer semester off of college, even if I guess it will delay my graduation. I'd rather graduate fully, well knowing that I didn't overexert myself to get there, if that makes sense. I did think over it a little bit, and I think that it is not helpful to anyone, not even myself, to skirt around the word addiction. I said reliance. I feel stigmatized myself. I felt a lot of judgment and a lot of just hostility towards me because of my addiction, and I in some ways totally get it, but there's a spider, oh my god, please, and it's jumping, please, oh my god. So yeah, through high school I had some problems. I did not have those problems anymore, but just because I'm not suffering through an addiction does not mean that that addiction is not causing me problems to this day. I still feel enormous amounts of shame, and shame is such a strong and powerful emotion. It can really affect your life. I still feel a lot of shame and guilt and responsibility, but I'm glad it's over now, and it's actually Mr. C who helped me through it all. So I basically just wanted to say that just in case there's anyone out there who feels the same way or who feels lonely, because don't feel alone. Don't feel like you're the most horrible person in the world. And even if people treat you like that, people have treated me not so well because of my addiction. Going through that really taught me who my friends were, who my friends definitely weren't. Oh, I have like one friend now who was actually there for me during that time. I can't say that I blame those people. I have forgiven everyone, because there's no way I could have gone on in life if I did not forgive. There was just no way. That's just kind of how I am. Moving on from that, because it's hard to talk about because a lot of friends and family don't know about my addiction. They don't know the extent of what went on, so that's why I'm being so hesitant. Anyways. Yay. Oh no. Oh, you're such a pretty boy. Come on, you just go like that. There you go. I've been saved. He stepped off. It's really hard to get mad at this dog. He's just so adorable. I'm really glad that I live in the country and secluded. Now, I did live in a very popular city in Georgia, and now I live in a not popular at all, small country city of Georgia, and I am just so glad to be out of that city, because to be honest, there's just different mentality between city people and country people. And even though we're all from Georgia, and you will go to the city and have people say they are country people, they are not. I literally cannot even bear the thought of moving back to that city. I can't. And it's not Atlanta, if you're wondering. I would just about die if I had to move to Atlanta. Anybody can be whatever they want to be. I'm not the police. I'm not the country police, believe me. I haven't been country until recently. My family grew up in the country, and I was raised in the city, and part of me always knew that that's not what I wanted. As a child, I always just knew that's not what I wanted. That whole entire just like stone cottage feel and dream has always been mine since a child. I've never thought of skyscrapers, skyrise, a woman in a pantsuit with a briefcase or anything like that. It's never been me. Okay, so my phone died and it was really a lot. So I'm using Mr. C's phone now, so I'm gonna have to get my phone in a little bit. But I forgot totally what I was talking about before a bird attacked me and then the bird started circling me. I'm really just gonna go until I finish this amount of yarn, and then I guess this will have to definitely be a parted series, because man oh man, does it take a long while to crochet. So I actually didn't realize that this piece of string that I was working with was much smaller than I thought, and was actually tangled in a second piece of string. So yeah. So what I'm gonna do to end this off, I'm going to yarn over, go through my next stitch, pull through, and then what I'll do is I'll yarn over, chain one, which seems wrong because you're in the middle, and then just pull it all the way through. and now you've got a knot, and that part is done. And then I would just recommend snipping that and not yanking that off like my mind wanted me to do, but I know better. But thank you guys so much for crocheting with me, listening through my favorite things and my story, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and that you'll come crochet with me next time. Please leave a like and please subscribe if you enjoyed, and bye.